My Hero Academia is back for Season 4, and Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, and the rest of the students of UA are facing some very real challenges. You may have noticed that we're trying something sorta new on channel Frederator, anime. And I know, we usually go in depth on anime over on our sister channel, Get in the Robot, check it out if you haven't, but only on channel Frederator will you get 107 facts. And this is 107 facts about My Hero Academia. Number 1. Deku made his first appearance in Horikoshi's one-shot, which was aptly named My Hero. It debuted 6 years before the My Hero Academia we know in the winter 2008 Akamaru Jump, now known as Jump Next. Number 2. There are a few notable differences between Izuku Midoriya from the My Hero one-shot and the Deku we know and love. For example, in the one-shot, his name isn't Izuku at all, it's Jack. He's also older and a salaryman instead of a student. I don't know who they were, what demographic they were going for, but it's definitely not shonen, that's for sure. Number 3. The name Jack has a hidden meaning. It sounds similar to Jaku, a Japanese word that can mean weak. Number 4. Deku, on the other hand, can be translated as useless. But if you're Uraraka, you might see the bright side and interpret it as Dekiru, which roughly translates to can do. Number 5. According to Horikoshi, the My Hero one-shot wasn't really suited to appear in a shonen magazine, because the main character was fully grown at the time. Number 6. Creating Hero Academy was the natural evolution of Horikoshi's ideas, especially because Shonen Jump readers are usually students, so school would be the most relatable setting, which is why lots of anime take place in school. I just want more adult anime. Give me more adult anime. Number 7. The other reason Horikoshi picked the school setting is because he loves origin stories, discovering how the hero became the hero when they were still learning. However, he does admit that it limits the scope of the series. Number 8. When Horikoshi designed Deku for My Hero Academia, he tried to give him a more complicated look, with longer hair covering one eye. However, it just made Deku look like he needed a haircut, and so Horikoshi then figured that the simpler Deku's design, the better. You know, less is more. Less is more. Number 9. The design of Deku's costume has changed over the course of the series. His very first hero costume, known as his alpha costume, was made by his mom, Inko. Number 10. Maybe Inko is such an attentive mom because Deku's dad isn't around much. Yeah, Deku does have a dad, believe it or not, but he travels a lot, as per, anime trope. But Horikoshi said he wants Deku's father to make an appearance later in the story. Number 11. Back to Deku's costume. After his alpha costume is destroyed by Bakugo, because of course Bakugo destroyed his costume, Deku gets a hero support company to tailor his costumes from then on. This costume maintains his original aesthetic, but alters the jumpsuit to have a darker green, with more padding for his legs. He also swaps out his original respirator for a sturdier metal one. Number 12. More changes are made when Deku upgrades his Gamma costume. Many of these changes are to support his new leg-centric shoot style. You know, when Deku discovered he has legs. Deku, you've had those the entire time, why didn't you just use them? He also adds arm braces, which help prevent One For All from further injuring his already damaged arms. Number 13. Additionally, he adds iron soles to the bottom of his shoes to enhance his kicking power. They absorb the kinetic energy from the impact of his kicks, and then redistributes the energy outward via a spring located in the sole of his shoes. Number 14. It's not just the support course students who work on these costumes. There are a few agencies that specialize in designing costumes for heroes. Bakugo and Uraraka share a costume designer. You can see the designer's signature, those 2 black dots, on both of their costumes. And they're not the only ones among their classmates to share a designer. Number 15. Sero and Kirishima also have the same costume designer. Then there's Momo's designer, which definitely was busy because they made costumes for Tsuyu, Mina, Mineta, Kaminari, and Jiro. And the best boys, Deku and Todoroki, share a costume designer too. In the comments, list down similarities between all the costumes because, you can kind of tell they were designed by the same people. Number 16. Now that we're on Todoroki, depending on his body temperature, Todoroki's costume fluctuates between hot and cold, which counteracts the negative effects of using his icy hot abilities. He also has cleated shoes to keep him from slipping on his own ice. Number 17. Todoroki's birthday is on January 11th. His favorite food is also cold soba. I don't know if you've had cold soba, but it is really good, especially if you dip it in the sauce. Number 18. Todoroki's father, Endeavor, was almost a teacher at UA, but Horikoshi decided that would make the hero team too OP. so he decided against it to keep the scales of justice balanced. Number 19. Classrooms at UA are only supposed to have 18 students, but Class 1A has 20. This is because Shoto Todoroki and Momo Yaoyorozu were enrolled via recommendation, so they didn't count. Number 20. Speaking of Yaoyorozu, when her creation quirk was originally explained in the manga, Horikoshi said that she could produce anything except for organic substances, but he meant to say that she could create anything except living things. If she wasn't able to create organic substances, then she wouldn't be able to create insulator sheets or clothing. Horikoshi corrected this slip-up in a later volume of the manga. Number 21. According to Horikoshi, both Momo and Iida were originally going to be pro heroes. They might not be pros in the anime, but they do have very powerful quirks, so it's only a matter of time. Number 22. In fact, Iida comes from a long line of pro heroes, starting with his grandfather. All 3 generations of the Iidas have a version of the engine quirk. Number 23. Iida's grandfather discovered that he could improve the engine quirk if he surgically removed the exhaust pipes from his body. They would grow back even stronger, but it's a painful process, so it's done sparingly. What are these engines made out of? Is it bone? Kinda gross. Number 24. Iida's birthday is August 22nd, and his favorite food is beef stew. He's also Horikoshi's favorite character to draw. Number 25. Iida was one of the last characters to be created during the home stretch of the serialization meeting. Honestly, I can't imagine My Hero without Iida. It's like the main 3 that I think about is Deku, Ochako, and Iida. Number 26. Deku isn't the only character to have changed as Horikoshi was planning the series. Uraraka, which I will be calling Ochako because it's so much easier to say, was originally going to have Mount Lady's gigantification quirk, but Horikoshi thought that the amount of stress she would be under from standing out would make the character too dark. Number 27. Horikoshi was also really proud to think of a name that fit her so perfectly. Uraraka means clear and bright. Her given name is a play on the Japanese phrase ocha no ko, which means piece of cake. It's also similar to Ochapi, which means Chatterbox Girl, which is like a super clever ship name. Speaking about ships, on Get in the Robot, we have this whole series called Making Babies. I know it sounds wrong, but we make powerful quirk babies from My Hero ships, and we kind of imagine how they'd look like, so check that out. That's really... I don't know, it's one of my favorite videos. We have like 8 of them. Number 28. Ochako's name also contains the word ocha, which means tea in Japanese. Combine that with Midori, which means green, and is from Deku's family name Midoriya, and you get a popular name for their ship, Green Tea. Number 29. Bakugo was originally going to be a natural-born genius, and an airhead who inadvertently hurt others without any malicious intent. But Horikoshi decided that that was boring and made him the explosive, rotten, nasty boy we all know today. Honestly, good choice. Horikoshi said that his face was built for that kind of character. Number 30. Bakugo wasn't always Katsuki's last name. Originally, he was going to be called Gogo. The Baku part is an allusion to the Japanese word for explosion, so the new name captures his powers and personality. Number 31. Katsuki isn't the only one in the Bakugo family to be explosive. His mom, Mitsuki Bakugo, is known to get into screaming matches with her son. But unlike her son, she knows how to be calm when the moment calls for it. She just kind of like punched his head. That was great. Number 32. Mitsuki has a mutant class quirk called Glycerin, which allows her to secrete actual glycerin from her pores. Number 33. Katsuki's dad, Masaru, is the polar opposite of his family with a calm and timid demeanor. His quirk is called Acid Sweat, and it allows him to sweat acid. If he claps his hands together and rubs them, he can create an explosion. Number 34. Red Riot, otherwise known as Kirishima, has gotten a lot of screen time lately. He developed his hardening quirk when he was rubbing his eye as a child, giving him a small scar above his right eye. A scar that Horikoshi admits forgets to draw often. Honestly, I rub the top of my left eye a lot, but I don't think that's a quirk. I think that's just dry skin. Number 35. At the end of season 3, we're introduced to the big 3: Nejire Hado, Tamaki Amajiki, and Mirio Togata. They are third-year UA students at the top of their game, and these 3 make a big splash in season 4. Number 36. Nejire's emitter class quirk, Wave Motion, is amazing. She can turn vitality into massive energy blasts, eviscerating any foe. She emits the energy from either her hands or her feet, allowing her to fly or float with her quirk. Number 37. Having a quirk that relies on vitality has forced Nejire to work on her endurance. Thanks to her training, stamina draining quirks affect her less than others, which is not a bad side effect of training at all. Number 38. Nejire participated in UA's annual beauty pageant. Though she did very well, she was bested by support course student Bibimi Kenranzaki 2 years in a row. Number 39. Nejire's best friend Yu Yu Haya encouraged her to enter the beauty contest in her freshman year. They're the best of friends, and Yu Yu once said that Nejire is the cutest thing in the galaxy. Number 40. Nejire interns with the pro hero Ryukyu whose quirk allows her to transform into a dragon. Number 41. Tamaki Amajiki's transformation class quirk, Manifest, is pretty much a horror show. It allows him to replicate the physical traits of anything he's eaten recently, or on any part of his body. It's important for Tamaki to consume a lot of whatever he wants to manifest, because the more he eats, the better the trait manifests. Number 42. Tamaki works at a top hero agency run by the pro hero Fat Gum, who also relies on eating for his quirk. Number 43. Mirio decided to become a hero after he fell into a river as a boy and was rescued by a nearby pro hero. That experience stuck with him, inspiring Mirio to become a hero himself. Number 44. Mirio's quirk permeation gives his body an intangible quality, allowing him to pass through all physical matter. He can activate it in specific limbs or through his entire body. Number 45. If he chooses to activate it throughout his whole body, he'll fall through the ground and stay there until he deactivates the quirk, which then shoots him out of the ground. Number 46. When Mirio's quirk is activated, he loses the ability to breathe, use most of his senses, and his clothes fall off. Number 47. Don't worry though, when dressed as the hero Lemillion, his uniform is immune to the effects of his quirk. And the reason why? Well, it's woven with his own hair. Number 48. His hero name, Lemillion, comes from his goal to rescue at least 1 million people throughout his hero career. He also thinks it sounds like, and forgive me if I butcher this name, Remy Oromen, a Japanese rock band. Number 49. Mirio's birthday is July 15th. He shares it with Deku, making them both Cancers. They also both train under the pro hero Sir Night-Eye, so I don't think this was a coincidence, I think it was fate. I am also a Cancer, because my birthday is July 7th. Not that you needed to know, but I thought it was cool that all this was like, you know, we're all part of the same zodiac, you know? Number 50. Sir Night-Eye is a pretty big deal, because back in the day, he used to be All Might's sidekick. Number 51. I know we just said that Sir Night-Eye was All Might's sidekick, but All Might did turn him down several times. But, you know, when All Might finally did cave, Sir Night-Eye single-handedly completed all of All Might's paperwork. Number 52. Sir and All Might ended the professional relationship after 5 years of working together, after Sir read All Might's future, saw his demise, and begged him to retire. Number 53. But how did Sir Night-Eye see the future? Well, he used his quirk. Sir Night-Eye's quirk is known as Foresight. After touching and making eye contact with a target, Sir is able to see into their future. He retains access to that future for an hour. However, he can't determine how or when these events will occur. Number 54. Sir loves a good laugh. In fact, he requires heroes to make him laugh before he'll formally acknowledge them. Number 55. Even though Deku couldn't make Sir laugh, he fights Deku and is impressed with his ability to avoid damaging any of Sir Night-Eye's sweet All Might merch, and agrees to bring him on board as an intern. Well, and also to find out why All Might picked him for One for All as opposed to Mirio, who also interns with him. Number 56. Along with his 2 pro heroes in training, Sir Night-Eye also has 2 sidekicks, Bubble Girl and Centipeter. Number 57. Both Bubble Girl and Centipeter were fan-made designs that won a Shonen Jump character design contest. Number 58. Bubble Girl's quirk is Bubble. It allows her to create a bubble filled with any smell that she's experienced before. Number 59. Centipeter's quirk is Centipede, and he's pretty much a centipede, so he can use his insect-like limbs to attack or ensnare foes from afar. Number 60. The big bad for Season 4 is Kai Chisaki, or Overhaul, who leads the 8 Precepts of Death, one of the few Yakuza groups remaining in Japan following All Might's near eradication of the Yakuza in years prior. Number 61. Overhaul's quirk allows him to take apart and then recombine anything he touches. When Overhaul reconstitutes something he's taken apart, he can fuse his victim with something else. If that occurs, he creates a type of chimera. His power also allows him to combine quirks. Number 62. Overhaul developed a quirk-erasing drug by experimenting on Eri and modifying the power of her extremely rare quirk, Rewind. Number 63. Rewind allows Eri to revert a living being's body back to a previous state, such as before an injury or even before they existed. Number 64. Eri's horn is related to her quirk. Her horn grows seemingly in relation to her quirk's power. Number 65. Deku may look up to All Might, but Horikoshi's colleagues didn't really feel the same way. They all felt that All Might just looked like some cheesy old guy who no one would ever idolize. That just pushed Horikoshi to draw him even better. Number 66. When All Might is in his true form as Toshinori, the whites of his eyes are black because he has, and I quote, wasted away into the shadows, but his pupils still shine with pride as being the symbol of peace. Number 67. When All Might's in his hero form, his eyes are normal because his entire body represents pride. Number 68. One of the kanji in Izuku's name is homophonous to the kanji for 9, which could allude to him being the 9th one-for-all user. Likewise, All Might's real name includes the kanji for 8, a reference to him as the 8th user. Number 69. All Might's birthday is June 10th. He loves films and has a red phone with his catchphrase, "I am here," as his ringtone. Number 70. Kenta Miyake, All Might's Japanese voice actor, made a touching observation about All Might's character. When he gives Deku the one-for-all power at the beach, he does so in his muscular form, even though Deku knows about his true form, and there's no one around to impress. Miyake interprets this as All Might showing respect to Deku by passing the torch as a hero. Number 71. All Might's influences as a character seem to be a mixed bag. He definitely has American influence, with his moves named after American states and his transformation giving him more of an American style, but Horikoshi has said that he simply based him off of Goku. Number 72. All Might was the most popular pro hero with fans until he was surpassed by Eraserhead, aka Aizawa Shota. Number 73. With Aizawa, Horikoshi wanted to create a character who thought logically, but let the rest just happen. So his personal style isn't quite as organized as his thoughts. Horikoshi felt that Aizawa wouldn't care what he looked like and thinks he has a minimalist room. Number 74. Aizawa got his hero name from Present Mike when they were in school together. Number 75. Present Mike was originally going to be a stereotypical older fat man, but Horikoshi decided a super high energy younger guy would be way more fun. Number 76. The word Hage on Present Mike's headphones is the Japanese word for baldness, which was meant to be a nod to the original design. Now it's just an in-universe brand. Number 77. Present Mike's birthday is July 7th. His favorite food is fried chicken. He has his own Friday night radio show called Put Your Hands Up Radio, and he is extremely afraid of bugs. Number 78. Present Mike's first English voice actor, Sonny Strait, had to hand the role over to David Trosco because his voice couldn't handle the strain. Number 79. After receiving countless letters about how the hell Mineta passed the entrance exam, Horikoshi explained that the rules of the entrance exam were to immobilize the robots, not destroy them. Mineta's quirk is actually great for this. He was able to trap them against a wall or stick them to the ground or even plug their muzzles to earn points. Number 80. The term quirk is nowhere to be found in the original release of My Hero Academia. In Japan, instead of saying quirk, they say kosei, which roughly translates to individuality. Fans believe quirk came into vogue because before Viz, Uraraka's American publisher, picked up the series, a scanlation group called Fallen Angel Scans translated every chapter, and their translator Gliblord used quirk instead of individuality. Number 81. Viz initially used individuality in their translation, but the fandom was very attached to quirk, so they pushed back. Quirk has since become the canon term to describe abilities in My Hero Academia for most countries outside of Japan. Number 82. Quirk users often manifest their quirk by age 4. However, users can manifest their quirks as early as birth. For example, when Present Mike was born, he famously damaged the eardrums of the doctor and his parents with his uncontrolled quirk-powered crying. Number 83. In a similar fashion, the first person with a quirk was the Luminous Baby, a baby in China who had light radiate from him like a little Jesus. Number 84. Although quirks were initially rare, around 80% of the planet now has some form of quirk. Of those 80%, children will usually inherit either one or a mix of their parents' quirk. Number 85. Emitter-type quirks are the most common. They can change the state of things around them, like Eraserhead's Erasure quirk. They can also allow the user to create substances from their bodies, like Mina's Acid or Momo's Creation quirk. Number 86. One for All is also considered an emitter class quirk, and may be the only emitter class quirk that can physically alter the user as shown through All Might's hero form and his normal form. Number 87. Emitter quirks are the only quirk type to experience overuse backlash, like when Aoyama gets stomach aches if he fires his laser too much, or how Ochiko gets nauseous if she makes her whole body weightless. 88. Transformation is the least common type of quirk. Users must focus to activate their quirk and can only use it for a limited amount of time. Take Kirishima's Harding quirk for example, or the horrible quirk Blade Tooth that Moonfish has. Number 89. Mutant class quirks stick out in the crowd because they permanently alter the way the user looks. Their quirks don't need to be activated and are immune to erasure and other quirk nullification. Froppy, Iida, Ojiro, Sero, they all have mutant class quirks. Number 90. Clothing for mutant class quirks can sometimes be an issue. Ojiro needs a specially tailored hole in his pants for his tail. It's standard for new clothing stores to have tailors to accommodate people's quirks, which is actually kind of nice. That's like a nice world building aspect I didn't know about until now. Number 91. Sometimes children can be born with a combo of their parents' quirk, like Bakugo's Explosion quirk or Todoroki's Icy Hot quirk. However, perfect combinations are pretty rare, which is why Endeavor only recognized Todoroki as his potential successor, since he considers Todoroki's quirk to be a perfect blend. Number 92. It seems as though quirks can be dominant or recessive. just like genes, and determine what quirk a child will inherit from their parent. If you want to learn more about this, we did a whole cartoon conspiracy video about it. Honestly, really good, really entertaining. Jacob did a really good job. Number 93. In extremely rare cases, like Aries Rewind, the quirk can manifest completely independent of the original parent's quirk, and evolve so rapidly that their strength multiplies. These quirks are typically powerful, highly sought after, and can be really dangerous for the user. Number 94. All quirk users have only one joint in their pinky toe. Humans that are born quirkless, like Deku, have 2 joints in their pinky toe. Number 95. Now that Deku has One For All, his quirk is listed as superpower in order to protect the secrecy of One For All. Number 96. A parent isn't supposed to play favorites, but Horikoshi still does with his creations. He admits that he probably likes Bakugo more than Deku. Even Bakugo's costume is still one of his favorites in the series. Number 97. Horikoshi may like Bakugo more, Iida may be his favorite character to draw, but Sero's quirk is his favorite. Horikoshi said that he wants to make more use of the taping hero in the future. Number 98. Horikoshi's been seen in interviews wearing an elaborate gas mask. No, he's not trying to dress like a supervillain. He just gets self-conscious showing his face on TV. I get it. That's why my voice is just a voice. Number 99. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes was released on July 5th, 2018. Horikoshi supervised the overall movie and also contributed to the characters, story, and the script. Number 100. In this movie, there's an expo that completely focuses on sport item technology. This convention takes place on a man-made island in international waters. Number 101. David Shield is not only one of All Might's old sidekicks, but is also the designer of All Might's hero suit and the brains behind the Sport Item Expo. Number 102. Shield's daughter Melissa gives Deku the full gauntlet, a rechargeable glove that lessens the damage on Deku's arms. Number 103. In most parts of the world, people are required to have a hero's license to use their quirk in public. However, at Island, people are allowed to use their quirks publicly. Number 104. If you're not on the island and not a registered hero and you use your quirk in public, you're placed in your own very illegal category. This is where the Uraraka spin-off, Vigilantes, comes into play. Number 105. The spin-off is written by Hideyuki Furuhashi and illustrated by Betancourt. It takes place mostly as a prequel with some tie-ins to the main series. Number 106. The series centers around Koichi Himawari, aka the Crawler, as he serves justice from the shadows with the aid of his allies, a crusty older dude named Knuckle Duster and a sassy high schooler called Popstep. And lastly, number 107. The big difference is that no one in this trio is a licensed hero. They're all doing hero work illegally as vigilantes. Their work largely revolves around taking care of villains who spontaneously appear due to a quirk-enhancing drug called Trigger. To get the whole story, you're just gonna have to read Vigilantes. And with all that being said, it seems like My Hero Academia is here to stay. Honestly, with Season 4 going the way it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if Season 5 is announced really soon. Probably after it's aired, honestly, that's probably what they do. Anyway, if you can't get enough My Hero Academia, you can check out our sister channel, Get in the Robot, where I am the cameraman / producer / the guy who had the voice in the background that talks to the hosts. We go in depth on all sorts of things My Hero Academia related, and also just stuff that's anime in general. I'm Adrian, thanks for watching Channel Frederator, and remember, Frederator loves you.